What's going on? Vince the Engineer here. Today, we've got another unboxing, so stay tuned. All right, so for today's video, we have the Petra HD4050 battery-powered backpack sprayer. And we're going to be unboxing this guy today. This was sent to me for free from Petra in exchange for a review. But the opinions that I bring to this video are of my own, and they are not subject to any review or approval from Petra. Previously, I did do an unboxing of the HD4000 battery-powered backpack sprayer, and I think for the most part, these are going to be very similar units, but I do think this will have some upgrades, and we'll go over all of those features and the comparisons. I'll go over all the full specs, and then we'll go out and spray and see how they compare. I expect them to be very, very similar because they do have the same core pump and motor. Both go up to 70 PSI, both are variable speed pumps, but I think the controls have been a little bit updated, tweaked. The battery and the way it charges has been a little bit updated and tweaked as well. So we'll go over all of that, and hope you enjoy this video. All right, so let's get started and just start unpacking this guy. All right, little instruction manual. This is a parts bag that has a bunch of nozzles in it. This is a charger for the battery. Got the main unit, hose, and the wand underneath here. Let's put this guy together real quick, and then we'll go over the features and all the differences. Okay, real quick, these are the nozzles. We've got one nozzle here that is like an adjustable, flexible nozzle tip. This is different. You don't get this with the HD4000. So if that's something you're interested in. This is a dual nozzle. This does come with the HD4000, very similar. So this is the fan tip nozzle right here. And this is very good for most of the applications we do here for lawn care. But I'll most likely be using my T-jet nozzles. So I have the air induction tip for soil applications and the 110-degree fan spraying tip for my foliar applications. And it's very easy to convert. I did do a video on converting my Petra HD4000 to quick connect fittings, but you don't need to do that. It's very easy to just swap out this tip for whatever T-jet nozzle you want to use. This just pops right off. Unscrew it, take out the gasket inside, take out the tip, and then put your new T-jet nozzle in here, replace it with the gasket, and just put it right on. It's very easy. It might be a little bit difficult at first because this is a very tight fit here. I explained that in my previous video, but it does work well. Got another misting nozzle here, and then this shower head cone nozzle, or whatever you want to call it. Here's the wand. This is an adjustable wand. Very easy to adjust. Very similar to the HD4000. But on the unit itself, some noticeable difference right out of the box is that the hose is directly connected right into the pump here. You don't have to screw that on. On the HD4000, you have to screw that on manually. And all this comes already pre-assembled. So basically all we need to do right out of the box is just assemble the wand and put a tip on it, fill it up with water, and you're ready to go. So here's the HD4050 handle. And here's the HD4000 handle. Very different designs. This one is much longer and is a different locking mechanism. I personally think this one's a little bit better. If you like to keep the handle locked, that's just way easier for me to lock it. It's very quick. For me, no matter what, if I have it held upside down, boom. I have it held this way, boom. It's very easy. for the 4050 handle, it's a little bit more difficult for me to kind of reach and pull that back to get it to lock in place. I mean, I can do it with one hand, but it's just a little bit, it's just not as easy as the other one. I do like that better about the 4000. All right, so let's get on with the full assembly here. So first, I'm gonna put the nozzle on. Now, what I'll go back and do, I don't have it with me now, but I usually put the PTFE tape around all of the threads to make it leak-proof. But just for a quick assembly here, you're basically just putting on your nozzle and then putting it on the wand. And that's it. Your sprayer's good to go. All right, so one more thing are the straps. The straps are nice and padded. A little bit more beefier than the HD4000. The other thing is you got this kind of foam pad on the back here that's just a little bit more comfortable and more fitting to your back as you're spraying. The HD4000 does not have this. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this fits and feels on my back when it's full compared to the HD4000. Both straps come with like a bag that you can store some things in. Quick access for when you're out spraying. And then these have attachment points basically at the base of the unit. So we're gonna just attach those hooks to the base there. All right. Not so bad. All right, so here are the two units side by side. As you can see, I think the 4050 has a little bit more of presence, just in its bolder design. You know, this one is very nice, but you could just tell that this has a lot more presence, I think, just in its overall design. That's my opinion. You know, some of the differences on these, just in the front, you know, this has the voltmeter to tell you when the battery is charged or when it needs to be charged, whereas on this unit, everything is on the side here. So the controls for HD4050 are on the side, same as the 4000. Your battery meter is up at the top here, and it's more of a intuitive indicator light. It's like a symbol of a battery, and, you know, kind of lights along the length of that battery to kind of detail how much power you have left. This right here is the knob to turn on the unit and control your pressure. And one difference is that in the 4000, you have two switches. In the 4050, you only have the one, and it's controlled by this knob. On the 4000, if you turn the knob, you're gonna be going into like the variable pressure mode. And when you turn on the switch, this is full pressure. So you only need to put one on at a time. You don't need to put both of them on. And that may have been a little bit confusing for some users of the 4000. They would maybe turn on the one switch and then not realize, you know, maybe they're not getting all the variable pressure that they wanted. Because when you turn on the switch here and then turn this on, it's all 70 PSI. You're not getting any variable pressure. So if you want variable pressure on the 4000, you only operate the knob and not the switch. If you turn on the switch here, you're gonna get full 70 PSI. Here, it's only the knob, and that's all you have to turn on the unit. So I think this is a little bit more intuitive and easier to use from that standpoint, and avoids confusion. Another key difference between the 4050 and the 4000 is how the battery is installed in the unit. So on the 4050, the battery's right here on the side. It's very easy to get to. The door opens up very smoothly, and the battery doesn't have any wires connected to it. You kind of just lightly lift up, pull it out, and that's the battery. To put it in, slide it back in, press it in, let it drop down, and close the door. Very easy, very straightforward. On the 4000, it's located behind the unit on the back, and the straps kind of get in the way a little bit. It's not terrible. The door is a little bit, you know, more clunky to open. But you've got this strapped here, and then the battery pulls out and it's connected to these wire leads. But if you needed to pull this out for winter storage, you know, that's how you would do it. Another noticeable difference between these two units are the lids. On the 4050, you've got this really nice big lid. Inside, you've got the filter basket, and that's where you would dump all your product, strain it out before it goes into the unit. On the 4000, you have basically two lids. The main fill lid with your basket. And then this is more like, I don't know, the drain lid. And it comes with a little cup that has the seal, you know, that's a measuring cup for product, and then it can also store your nozzles. And you know, it's got these two lids, but this does not have a drain port on the bottom side of the unit. The 4050 does have the drain port, and it's right here on the side, easy to get to. Nice, so you don't have to tip over the entire unit when you're done. If you've got some product left, or you know, you need to get rid of some waste, you can drain it right here, no problem. Another difference that I see is how you can lift up the unit. Now, on the 4000, there is a little handle on the top here that you can grab. On the 4050, you can grab the top of the handle here, but there are also these grab points on the side. They're these indented, perfect for your hand, your fingers to kind of get in and lift it up if you need to, which is nice. But I'll probably find myself just kind of lifting it up from the top here, from the lid, similarly to how I would do it here. Lastly, I want to discuss the weight of these units. The 4000, and now I have used this, I've had put product in it before. I'm pretty certain that it's fairly cleaned out and dry and there's no additional product in the pump. But this one is fresh, unboxed, nothing has been put in it yet. But right off the top, I mean, the HD4050 does feel a little bit lighter. And this does feel significantly heavier. I'm not going to weigh them out, but it's probably like a pound or two difference. So now that we've unboxed everything and kind of compared these two head to head, let's fill them up with some water and spray them and see how they perform. All right, as you can see, my yard is completely covered with snow. So to show you how the Petra HD4050 sprays, I'm going to use water and a blue spray indicator dye to give you a good idea of the unit's coverage ability and the time it takes to spray the designated areas. In each sprayer, I added a half gallon of water and a half ounce of blue dye. Both sprayers are set to their highest pressure setting of 70 psi. In the yard, I measured out two 500 square foot areas. I generally like to cover 1,000 square feet with 1 gallon of water. So in this example, I'm simply cutting that in half for each sprayer. First up is the HD4050. I'm keeping the tip of the wand at about the level of my knees. This helps me maintain a consistent spray width as I walk across the yard. The coverage looks okay across the width of the spray pattern. For both units, I was able to spray each area in 4 passes. I was able to complete this area in 1 minute and 20 seconds. Next up is the HD4000. I didn't expect there to be too much difference in the spray pattern or pumpability between each unit. However, one noticeable difference I observed was that the HD4000 had difficulty emptying the entire contents of the sprayer, while the HD4050 had no issues with this. This is due to the presence of a sump within the HD4050 that channels liquid from the bottom of the container into the pump. The HD4000 does not have this. About halfway through spraying the HD4000, I noticed the pump struggling to pump because of this. So I had to take it a bit slower toward the end to make sure I was getting an even application and prevent sloshing around in the tank. I was able to complete this area in 1 minute and 40 seconds. After spraying both units on their highest pressure settings, here are the side-by-side comparisons so you can see for yourself. I think it was pretty close. Both sprayers tend to spray a bit heavier in the middle and on the outermost edges, leaving a bit lighter coverage in between. But I think this is largely due to the plastic tip on each unit. In the future, I plan to use T-Jet tips, which are highly regarded within the turf and agricultural industries as some of the best tips on the market. And I can confirm that the T-Jet tips are compatible with both of these Petra sprayer units without any modifications. So to me, it appears like the Petra HD4050 is kind of like version 2.0 of the 4000. It's been totally redesigned as far as the body goes, the base, the top. Similar pump, the battery has been changed, the way you charge it has been changed, the controls have been slightly tweaked to make it a little bit more user-friendly maybe. The way that the hose directly connects into the base is, I think, a nice feature. And even the padding on the back of the unit and the straps to make it more of a comfortable fit for you. I think it's just a little bit of a nicer upgrade, version 2.0, like I would say. I mean, I think the overall performance of the unit is going to be exactly the same. You know, for those, that I think justifies, I think, the $50 price difference between these two units. So yeah, and there you have it. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for joining.